I guess they've really zeroed in on places that are vulnerable to the shaking.
Yeah, absolutely. And about 75% of the country is actually vulnerable to damaging earthquakes.
Over the past several months, scientists have observed almost 200 earthquakes rippling through the ground beneath the Mississippi River Valley. On the ground, these earthquakes were so minor that the public dismissed them as nothing serious. But scientists are quite scared.
Nearly 3/4 of the country could experience potentially damaging earthquakes, putting hundreds of millions of people at risk.
America's Midwest is trembling. These large numbers of earthquakes indicate that the fault line of the New Madrid seismic zone is under extreme pressure. Its ancient scar is anxious to react. This structural weakness once tried to split apart continents, and now it is feeling pressure again, getting ready to awaken from its slumber. If these minor and seemingly harmless earthquakes awaken this scar, Americans would face another 1811 or 1812 New Madrid earthquake situation. What happened at that time? It was December 16, 1811, 2:15 a.m. Everyone was sleeping peacefully when Earth trembled. The first shock was felt near present-day Blytheville, Arkansas, and shook a vast portion of the country. People in Boston, Washington, D.C., and New York felt the tremors. People observed that the ground rolled in waves as if it were a liquid. Church bells started ringing and continued to do so for a long time. Chimneys collapsed as far away as Cincinnati and St. Louis. Entire forests were flattened. The Mississippi River started flowing backwards. The sleepy and farming town of 400 people was turned inside out. 5 towns in 3 states were destroyed. Once the earthquake had settled down, people rushed to leave their houses. Hundreds of people were running away from their livelihoods while aftershocks were rocking their towns. About 5 weeks later, on January 23, 1812, another earthquake hit near New Madrid, Missouri. Large cracks opened in fields, riverbanks caved in, and some areas of land sank permanently. It created shallow lakes and swamps. In that era, there was no advanced scientific equipment, so today's geologists could only estimate the earthquake's magnitude based on the destruction. They believed that the magnitude was around 7.5 to 8. Unfortunately, Earth didn't stop even after this earthquake. The third one was the strongest. It happened on February 7, 1812. It struck near New Madrid and Reelfoot Lake around 3:45 a.m. This earthquake permanently sank different parts of the ground, giving way to 12 different lakes. The famous one among them was Reelfoot Lake. Almost 150,000 square miles of forest vanished from the planet. The Mississippi's course was again reversed, and this time, its flow was permanently changed in different parts. The whole landscape of Central America was permanently changed from different locations. The poor victims of these 3 earthquakes claimed that the devil himself had visited them. But in reality, it was Madrid's fault line that was a real devil.
This new model shows the possibility of more damaging earthquakes along the central and northeastern Atlantic coastal corridor. That includes Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, Boston, cities.
The New Madrid seismic zone is one of the most significant earthquake-prone regions in the central United States. The plate runs through parts of southeastern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, and southern Illinois. That's why, when earthquakes hit Madrid, the intraplate sends the impact to various nearby areas. On top of this, the geology of Madrid is also vulnerable to earthquakes. The surroundings of this region have old, dense crust and sandy areas. It is quite different from the mountainous areas of California. The loose sediment carries seismic waves a long distance. As a result, an earthquake in the New Madrid region could shake an area up to 20 times larger than a similar event on the West Coast. The geology isn't the only factor that leaves Madrid vulnerable. It is its history too. Centuries ago, this part of the continent almost tore itself apart. A massive rift began forming, stretching from present-day Arkansas to Illinois. But before the continent could split, the rift stopped. It is now sitting in the deep crust of the earth as an old scar. This scar is still sensitive and throbs with every pressure. Immense forces that drive plate movements squeeze it. The scar patiently endures the pressure year by year, and when the crust can't take it anymore, it breaks. And when it does, the world faces earthquakes like that of 1811. Now, scientists are scared that the same thing is going to happen. Since the 1970s, over 4,000 micro-earthquakes have occurred in this zone. Every time, they shake the entire region and leave minor-level destruction behind.
Now to our top story tonight, that powerful earthquake that sent tremors all the way to the tri-state.
Advanced sensors, satellite imagery, and LAR technology show that these micro-earthquakes are causing new cracks in the crust. These new cracks are following the same structural trend that happened in the past. They are clustered around the old scar of the crust, increasing pressure on it. This continuity of tectonic stress transfer is telling scientists that another major earthquake is on its way. The magnitude 8 earthquake could hit Madrid at any moment now.
All new at 10, scientists say it's a matter of when, not if, there will be a major earthquake in the new Madrid seismic zone.
But the question here is, are we prepared? Scientists are scared that we are not. In 1811, Madrid was a farmland area with almost 400 people. They were simple people living a simple life, so the death toll and destruction weren't much in that era. But now, today's Madrid is an industrial area. The Mississippi River Valley and surrounding regions host major urban centers like St. Louis and Memphis. It also has various sprawling and industrial developments. Bridges, nuclear facilities, highways, and pipelines crisscross the zone. And, unfortunately, most of them are not created to endure severe earthquakes.
This is the first national seismic hazard model to include all 50 states. It also used new tools and technology which helped identify nearly 500 additional faults in the U.S. that could produce a damaging quake.
FEMA's national simulation has told the public what would happen if an earthquake of 8 magnitude hits Madrid today. Within a night, the whole heart of America would change. Southeastern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, and southern Illinois would shake simultaneously. Within seconds, downtown Memphis would be destroyed. The soft ground of Madrid would amplify damage in low-lying neighborhoods and along river valleys. Roads, bridges, the metro, electrical substations, water mains and gas lines would see outages and damage. Broken water or gas pipes could cause fires or secondary hazards. Brick buildings could collapse and cell networks would fail. Power grids can fail across multiple states. Hospitals will overflow. Ambulances will face blocked roads. Electricity will be out for days or weeks. Mud volcanoes could burst from the ground. Experts estimated that more than 80,000 people could be killed. More than 2 million would be homeless. America would face a $30 billion loss. With all of this, America's artery, the Mississippi, would suffer. When bridges would fall and fuel lines would rupture in this area, half of the country would face supply chain issues. Food, fuel, and cargo would stand in the Mississippi, while the whole of America would face trade issues. In short, the worst fear of scientists here is that we are not prepared. Their scientific knowledge told them that this region would face catastrophic earthquakes every 500 to 1,000 years. They are unavoidable. Though the last catastrophic earthquake happened only 200 years ago, the recent data is telling them that a new earthquake could hit them at any moment. So, with the help of engineers, they have created a national seismic hazard model.
This model is for engineers and for building codes, right? So we want to build our buildings and infrastructure stronger for basically so that they withstand the next damaging earthquake.
Scientists are urging constructors to make new buildings according to this special seismic model. This model aims to protect infrastructure whenever severe earthquakes hit this area again. For future updates, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.